Did someone leave?
Nope, no, it was just taking forever. Hey! Hey, everyone, it's episode 108 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs,
Hello.
C. Kohler,
Hey, guys.
and Imperial Bishop.
Hello, everybody.
Weed is now legal in California, which means
I thought it
Team
was
Epic is
Canada.
coming to Toonami.
I thought it was legal. It's legal in Canada, not California.
Not yet.
Well, you're gonna need it for when a certain show comes in a few more weeks.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're replacing Dragon Ball Z Kai with Pop Team Epic. Moving on.
Yeah.
And everyone's
I mean-
silent because they don't know what to think.
I mean, we joked about it when, we first got the Ask FM thing saying, something you expect, something weird, something in the pocket, this is obviously the something weird. Like, we just thought it was going to be too weird for them to go with.
But then you realize, oh, this is just... Well, I'm not going to steal Imperial Bishop's joke.
Oh no, you can take it. You can take it.
It's just Japanese Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a lot of
I've
pop
seen-
culture references.
Yeah,
of course,
maybe
of course
one
Adult Swim
episode,
would
but
air a Japanese show that is exactly like the shows they already air.
It makes
But
sense.
it's not on Adult Swim comedy, which is kind of surprising. This fits more there, but
I mean, they could
This is-
run it once here and then kind of, rerun it as much as they want.
I think the anime aspect of it, though, lends it more towards a Toonami crowd because as weird as the show's humor is going to be as far as an Adult Swim audience, it's still anime. And so it's like, I wonder if even a normal Adult Swim audience person would be like watching this going, what the hell?
It
they
could
probably
be
think it's
that
a parody of anime.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
It could be they got it with the idea that, okay, we get it. We can test out, see if, we can get more comedy shows. And this is fairly low risk because they can just keep rerunning it for the entire duration they have the rights on, regular Adult Swim comedy.
Well, I've seen one episode of it, and my only concern is that I don't know how many of these jokes are going to work because they feel like super Japanese specific.
Well, did you watch the dub? Because I haven't watched any of the dub, and I
No.
don't know how they rewrite it, if they rewrite any of those.
I've not, no.
I've seen a little bit, and the jokes are mostly the same. I think there's some creative licenses. They change things just a little bit, but it's kind of gets the point across.
Do you think it's still funny?
I feel like if you don't enjoy it in Japanese, you're probably not gonna enjoy as much in English.
Is
but
Pop Team Epic funny?
Unless you're like, I'm not gonna spoil
Well,
voice
that's like-
actors because
That's kind of my thing, though. It's like it feels like a lot of the humor in that show would only play to a Japanese audience, and I don't know, because I just watched it and I was like, oh, this is bizarre, and it's kind of funny because it's bizarre. But I also felt like the whole time I was watching it, all the jokes were going over my head because I didn't understand the cultural joke that was being made.
it's kind of a toss up because some of the jokes are, targeted towards the Japanese audience, and sometimes anime fans and otaku, and sometimes it's random references to things that aren't even related to Japan or anime. So it's kind of like a gotcha bag. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Okay.
Did I say gotcha bag? I don't know what that is.
The only thing that gives me a lot of hope, though, is because I did see that clip that they released online of the Dragon Ball voice actors doing those characters, and
I don't know. Don't spoil.
well, anyway,
You already said it, so it doesn't matter.
that's basically. I mean, okay, but they released that publicly. But anyway, just different voice actors doing these two characters, and just hearing that is funny enough. It's just crazy.
That is the end. I mean, that's most of the show.
It is
Get ready to
bizarre.
have these characters voiced by literally, let's see,
Everyone, just say that, or anyone. I don't know.
24 different people.
Yeah.
Like,
And
this is
that's
more
kind of
bizarre
cool.
than JoJo. I just had to say it. It is.
PP Me's weird ass adventure.
I guess the good news though is that like if this can come on the block, then really what
Anything.
couldn't? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
except like
Well,
hardcore.
I mean,
Fujiko
obviously,
Mine.
yeah. No, like soft core hentai, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we're getting Bible Black, everyone.
Oh yeah.
I just
I mean,
mean
they-
that like
Kill Toonami.
they're just breaking through the walls of like, oh, action only, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Now that we're on HBO,
Yeah, no, it's just I'm convinced that this got picked because it's pretty much the safest option. Because, like I said, even if it doesn't work for us, hey, you just run it on Adult Swim comedy, and this is exactly the kind of shit they like.
yeah, but are they going to be weirded out when the episode plays twice?
How popular was Super
they're all
Milk?
high. They're all high as
Exactly.
balls. Like they're not going to notice. They're going to be like, dude, I got some good
That's gonna be
weed this
it's
week.
like, dude, I was time traveler.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to think they have the best weed.
It's gonna depend on how buzzed they are.
Well, I mean, with weed starting to get legalized, it's everyone's gonna think they're finally getting the good stuff.
And I would say the show's kind of similar to Super Milk Chan. How well did that do for Adult Swim? Is that a fairly pop?
You know,
I
they
think
never
so.
talk about it.
I've never heard of it.
I mean,
No,
they
I've
ran
heard
it
of
for
it.
a long.
I remember when they aired it. I just
They
don't.
ran it for a long time.
Yeah, I just don't remember. Like, it seems like they ran it and then just never spoke about it again.
I mean, they do that a lot, though. It's like
Yeah.
if they don't own the rights to it outright, it's kind of like they'll run it, and then it's like, whatever, it's done.
Whatever happened to Assy McGee?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh God.
Anyway, look forward to that in 2 weeks.
I'm interested to see how they're gonna handle it because it's a certain aspect about it that I don't want to spoil. It concerns like half of the episode, so I want to see.
I
how
literally
they do
just already said it.
He just said
Yeah.
that like 10 seconds ago. Also, the promo
Oh.
for it, which aired this week, kind of also reveals
Gave
that.
it
The
away.
promo repeats twice and switches the voices, which is exactly how the episodes work. They
Yeah.
show all the stuff for 15 minutes in the female voices for most of the episodes, and then they come back in the second half of the episode, show all the same stuff with maybe some variations with male voices for the characters.
now you ruined half the fun. Nah.
No,
We're gonna
it's
figure it out.
obvious.
They were going to figure it out in 15 minutes anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and it kind of makes sense too because like all of the shows on Toonami, because they're anime shows, they only have one commercial break, and so you're going to come back from the commercial break, and then it's going to be like what? But I mean, the first time you see it, you get it.
If you had told me a year ago that Pop Team Epic that would air on like American television, I would laugh at you. But
Yeah,
Pop
I'm with
Team
you.
Epic is airing on American television.
I can't
weird.
believe it. It's happening. It's happening.
I mean, hey, if you had gone back to like 2012 and said, "Hey, man, a few years, JoJo, American TV."
Also, Kill la Kill. We said the same thing about Kill la Kill.
I could believe Kill la Kill or even
Kill la Kill
JoJo
doesn't
because,
feels like basic now.
It does, but I mean, like the amount of like crazy Barbie doll nudity in that show, it felt like it wasn't going to happen, and then it did. And so, yeah, I mean, like again, like I said, it just the fact that this can be aired on Toonami makes me feel like who knows what kind of crazy, romantic comedy or horror or whatever.
They even said slice of life. They're looking into slice of life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys see that? It's the monkey paw closing.
Oh no.
We're gonna get Tokyo Ghoul season 3. Yeah.
I mean, that's not. I mean, they already aired one season, and if it didn't do terrible in ratings, then maybe we actually do get that.
Show Black Lagoon, Roberta's Blood
I mean, we're
Trail.
probably gonna get SAO season 3.
Oh God.
That feels like obvious.
Although after Tokyo Ghoul and Black Clover, it's just like, okay, sure, fine, I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost done with Black Clover. I know, I can't believe it, right? Almost finished.
No, we're literally only halfway through.
Yeah.
You can't be serious right now.
That was episode 26 of something like 50 something.
No, that's impossible.
No, I'm serious. They put in Black Clover is a 50 episode long show.
No, but where the hell do they go from here?
Dude, we still have all of the rest of the stupid squad's backstories to go through.
Oh,
I
God.
believe there's an
Shit,
arc about our
more.
everyone's favorite sister lover coming up.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good, and by good I mean absolutely horrible.
I can't
I,
wait
I,
for
I
worst
stand by what
character this year.
I
It's
stand by
gonna
what I,
be a fucking. Have you seen that commercial where it's like people are just running at the tiny door and piling up in front of it?
Yes, yes, like
I stand
oh
by
no,
what I
Black
said
Clover,
last
oh,
week
get me
though,
out.
that I'm okay with, like, I don't like Black Clover, but there are worst shows that we've aired, and like,
There are exactly 2 worse
yeah,
shows that
well,
we've aired.
whatever. But my point is that like I still tune in every week and to kind of scoff at it and see what it does. So
Let's be honest. If none of us were doing this podcast, none of us would watch Black Clover.
And you could kind of tell they've
I mean,
kind of
I'd say
regretted their decision because it's moving
they pushed it
early
pretty
and
far
early,
back.
like later and later into the
yeah.
one. Now it's
It's
at
getting
1:30.
it's getting the Tenchi Muyo GXP treatment, and it's not a long running show. Like,
Yeah,
you
seriously.
expect long runners to move back because there's always something. There's just constantly new stuff over their life. They almost have to be pushed back. Black Clover, however, fuck you. You're even behind Hunter x Hunter.
Like it
Well, I mean,
aired at
Hunter x
what
Hunter's just getting
11:30,
into the good stuff.
12.
This show used to air at 11:30.
Whew.
Oh well, these things happen. You can't win all the races. They
Yep.
put a bet down and there's a bad bet.
Now, I feel like there was another big piece of news this week for some reason, and I can't remember what it even would be.
What the hell was it?
Pertaining to Toonami,
Yeah, I feel like there was something.
Dragon Ball is gone. Dragon Ball Kai is not rerunning. Yay!
They're not rerun. I don't know. I
Oh,
feel like the second Space Dandy is gone,
they might.
they might just put it on in the back because
Hey, that's
obviously
fine.
they're not going to put it on in the front. They've decided that's not going to happen. Even Dragon Ball can't do that. But if they just wanted to be like, we don't want to do this, we just want this rerun slot down, like locked down for several years now.
Yeah.
Well, now it would come to true test to see if these diehard Dragon Ball fans will stay up past 2 a.m. to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai again.
The answer is probably not.
Yeah.
Well, I think we know what the next show is going to be anyway. I mean, it's not Kai.
It's Pop Team Epic.
No,
Yeah.
I meant the next show after that,
Oh,
aka War in the Pocket.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's 90% that.
Are they going to have a? Are they going to have
Attack on?
Attack on Titan is probably your
Yeah,
JoJo
yeah.
replacement.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what's cool? We get a new show after Pop Team Epic in just 12 short weeks.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, Grazini said exactly what I was gonna say. So I think they'll do maybe they'll do like a simul premiere. I don't know if I'm saying the right word, but they'll go into air maybe Attack on Titan season 2 the same time they simul dub it.
You mean 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
season
Attack
3.
on Titan's a lock.
I hope so. I mean, the second season was great. So if the third season's good too, then good.
You know, next week we have we're only like next week away from another new show announcement. Maybe if it is, because if it is War in the Pocket, it could also just be we're showing Progressive again. If you missed it,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
like, because also Attack on Titan could be also right in the pocket because it's like, of course you would air that.
No, I think it's more literal. Because, I mean, so far it feels like everything we've gotten so far, we've sort of been able to predict. Like, when we first saw the tweet, I remember one of the first reactions we had is Pop Team Epic. And I think he was being fairly blatant with it, so it's probably the Gundam show.
In looking back, both of those hints were extremely blatant.
Yeah. Like I said, we
So-
were focusing.
We were getting a little too clever.
Yeah, because we were thinking originally the word was like super something, and we were focusing too much on the word something and not on the word super.
Yeah.
Oh.
I forget what the word was though, but anyway.
At least they're not like double premiere and super. We're not getting 2 episodes a week because they
Did
don't
he
want to
put?
rush through that.
Was it that he put pocket in quotation marks?
Oh yeah. Right
Yeah.
in the pocket was the phrase in quotation marks.
It's
Yeah.
probably gonna be Pocket Monsters. Pokemon's coming to.
If it
You
was
heard it
Sun,
first, Pokemon.
I want to see the animation of Sun and Moon. I don't want to listen to any of the American dub of Sun and Moon.
That would be
Also,
crazy.
Sun and Moon did a Pop Team Epic reference recently.
I'm not surprised.
I saw that actually.
The Sun and Moon has been doing some weird stuff lately. Like Pokemon, they've been doing some weird stuff lately. They really
basically-
freed up the animators to like do whatever they want.
They basically were just like after X and Y when they decided, we're good. Man, you thought we teased the audience that wants Ash to win something at the end of Diamond and Pearl. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it because if freshens things up.
I
changes things up.
agree. I have not been watching it, but every time I see a clip from that show, I'm like, well, that's creative.
Yeah. It seems like they've kind of finally gone like, we don't have to be as formulaic as we are because people are going to watch it anyway because let's be real, it's Pokemon. So it kind of feels like they just are sort of letting the animators and stuff kind of do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, and the new
like-
Pokemon movie looks like a slice of life film.
Well, it's
I
just
haven't
like
seen anything
Let's
about
Go. It's like, hey, remember Gen 1? Hey, Pokemon Go people, why don't you try playing a real video game
Oh,
Yeah, well,
on a
I mean, that's the
real
whole-
video game machine?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. They're trying to sell Switches to the 20 million people that still play Go.
Oh God, is that still the active number?
Yeah, I mean, I looked it up the other day, and apparently there's about 20 million people who engage for at least, on average, 25 minutes a day.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That's,
I mean,
popular, huh?
yeah, they they get they sell Switches to 1% of that, and they've hit beyond what they're trying to sell.
When's the date for Let's Go?
November.
I bet that thing cracks the top 5 top-selling games this year, only being out 2 months.
Yeah, I put money on it because
I
everything
bet
I've
top
seen,
3.
I
Trailer
put it
has
at
like
number
over
1.
10 million views, right?
Yeah.
Reveal trailer.
I honestly, I'd put it at number 1 because outside of sort of like
because
no,
Call of Duty is Call of Duty. You
No,
got
no,
your
no.
Call of Duty, Madden.
no, outside of the sort of era
Yeah.
and stuff, like
Yeah.
people I know that they're really into it.
For the year and in just 2 months, though, if it was out in
no
like
game beats
September,
Call of Duty. I mean, there's been amazing games come out these
Yeah.
last couple of years, and Call of Duty still
Yeah,
is the
but
top-selling game.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 will not leave that top 10 list.
I mean, honestly, I think
Oh my
if
God.
there's no like supply constraints, they could probably pull it off with this.
There are more people who bought like Grand Theft Auto 5 than there are actual people on the earth, this very earth.
Because people just buy like 12 copies.
I don't believe Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 8 billion copies. Let's be real now.
I would believe it.
It has sold more than any other thing ever, though.
People in other galaxies are playing it.
Yes.
People have bought it for their
Hey, Groot.
Ford pickup trucks.
Put on that violent video game. I am Groot.
Honestly,
I'm trying
between
Yeah.
Fortnite, Smash Brothers, and Pokemon Let's Go, everyone's like, "Man, Nintendo has nothing this year," and it's like, "Oh, they completely blew past 20 million consoles."
Yeah, they're gonna start approaching 25, I think, unless supply issues.
No one was paying attention to Octopath Traveler.
I mean,
Oh, no, I
Octopath
want
Traveler
it
is
so
not
bad.
going to move consoles. I'm sorry.
I want it though.
I want it though.
Yeah, and they also have they're finally bringing Monster Hunter Double Cross to the West,
That will also not move any consoles.
but I'm gonna buy it.
I know.
Yes.
I need my Mon Hunt on the
For the people
go.
with Switch who haven't played Monster Hunter World yet, who still want to play this game,
Honestly, I
Now you
fell
can
off.
play this worse game.
It's not worse though.
Nobody will be able. Only people who have played Monster Hunter before, like Monster Hunter not World, will be able to even.
No, honestly, World doesn't change a whole lot. I
Yeah,
mean,
that may be true, but
it changes like a couple of things here and there, but that's about it.
No, don't worry, guys. We'll have all these games next to our copy of Kingdom Hearts. Oh,
No, that's next year.
no.
Yes.
I remembered.
At least it's early next year.
Yeah, it's
I remember.
month one along with
Resident Evil 2
Resident
is
Evil
also
2.
January. And then February 22nd is good.
I'll believe that.
Those games are not coming out on that date. Two of those games are coming. Metro and Days Gone are coming out on that date.
You get
Crackdown and
February
Anthem?
22nd.
Nope.
And you get February 22nd. And
Yeah.
you get February 22nd.
No, what was I going to say? I'm kind of wondering about Resident Evil 2. Have you heard anything about an optional camera
Yeah, you
choice?
can choose.
Between the over-the-shoulder and the fixed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I hadn't heard anything about that, but I had heard it from the guy that told me about it, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to be the game of the forever. You can even switch camera styles if you really don't want the over-the-shoulder thing."
If you're actually one of those weird people who actually likes tank controls.
Yeah, then you can basically swap it to
They should just call it like over the shoulder should be called like normal mode, and then like fixed camera should be called like old geezer mode.
Weird people who didn't like Resident Evil 4 mode.
It's called over the shoulder, but you're not really over their shoulder. You're like right behind their back. Like
It's over the shoulder because most of the action takes place in the
You're in the lower left the whole time.
the character is in the lower left the entire time.
yeah, but the character like takes up like at least 25% of the screen.
I mean, I joke, by the way, just so I don't offend somebody. Like a lot of people listening to this podcast, including myself, and many of you are all old enough to have played Resident Evil 2 when it came out, and like I get the nostalgia of that. I mean, I'm all for more options. I'm with you though, Greg. It's like, who wants to play it that way? I guess only like super diehards would. But
I mean, welcome to Reset Era.
yeah, exactly.
You're posting here instead of on Reddit. You must love tank controls.
Oh boy.
Anyway, let's talk about Dragon Ball Super.
I can't remember what the hell the other news was.
Was there other news? I swear there's.
No, I feel like
even if there was, let's just go. We've been recording for like half an hour already.
This is true.
We'll be reminded what it is later, and we'll be like, "Fucking."
Yeah.
Before we continue, PlayStation hits Doom, Bloodborne, Street Fighter V, Yakuza 0, Uncharted 4 for $20.
Cool. Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super episode 67 with New Hope in his heart. Farewell, Trunks. In this episode, this arc takes a giant steaming dump on itself with this ending. Discuss.
Gigas? It's Gigas.
And then everyone died.
The end.
Yep.
And then they just like,
I'm so confused by that ending.
Super God. We have a God problem. Let's call Super God. It worked somehow.
God, he's a miracle.
So this was a shit piece of this was shit.
I think I kind of understand what happened, but I'm okay. So Zamasu got split in half. He's immortal, so his essence still exists, and he's like engulfing the entire world, right?
They said basically that
he erased everything.
His evil like intent was so powerful that it didn't even need his like physical vessel to do what it needed to do, and thus became even more stronger.
Yeah, but that's because he's immortal, right?
I think they said, he's invulnerable, so you destroyed his body, but look, check this out, Gigas, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's where they're starting to lose me because okay, that's never happened before. Although we never had a character wish for immortality and get it granted, so
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's such a weird like doesn't fit into anything. I don't know how to explain.
yeah.
It's just like, hey, look, he's super bad now. I mean, I agree with you guys. It should have just ended with the slice. That should have just ended it. But no, for some reason, he's got to turn into, you know, some entity that only Grand Zeno can destroy.
And
And
I
how
knew
does
they were
Grand
gonna use that button.
and then
Like I
how does
knew,
Grand
yeah.
Zeno end it? He just literally destroys the universe.
He's just like, fuck this.
His exact words were, "All of existence, go away," and it did.
You don't want to mess with Grand Zeno because you can just do that. Let me just destroy everything. There we go. Problem solved. There's no problem anywhere.
Okay, but here's now I got a real brain teaser for you. Then after that happens, of course they all got in the time machine and went back in time because I
Which
guess
makes no sense.
right,
Like,
exactly. So like going back in time apparently isn't destroyed, even though everything okay, whatever. Okay, so then they immediately take the time machine and go back to the future where apparently we're meant to believe that there is nothing, existence doesn't exist, but instead they're floating in space with like weird lights everywhere, and Zeno is just floating there.
Well, Zeno has to exist somewhere.
it doesn't
Right,
follow
but
its
my
own
point
rules.
is that like I know
Like,
I'm reading into this, but like it frustrates me. They shouldn't be able to do that.
like they already established that doing like minor stuff creates alternate timelines.
But not only that, but like going where were they? You can't go to a future that doesn't exist, much less
They
one
were
that
in the
has no
void.
like concept of space and time. I don't
The
know.
void of existence. Like, what? Oh, okay. And they shouldn't even be breathing because there's no. Well, I
Yeah,
don't know, man. They
exactly. I
just
mean,
kind
like,
of hand
why
with that.
wasn't the ship just like I don't know.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. This is great. This is the great example of how not to do time travel. If you want to do time race, do not do it like this.
Yeah.
So they went back to the past before Zeno destroyed the multiverse or just like the timeline and
All
the
I
entire
don't
timeline.
even remember how far they went
Mhm.
back. They may have went back to even before Zamasu went all fucking crazy.
Yeah, they went.
Mhm.
I don't know. They went exactly back to where they were. Then they said, okay, now let's go back to the alternate reality, which shouldn't exist anymore, because creating those changes would at least send them to a completely different alternate reality. And they get Zeno, they bring him back to the past. So it's my head hurts.
I wrote
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
watching this. I wrote a note down here, and I just said this multiverse is broken.
So now apparently Trunks and Mai exist in the same universe as themselves.
Yes, there's duplicates.
And so you know what that means, everyone.
You know you were thinking it.
You filthy motherfuckers.
Oh wow!
And that's the end of the arc. Zeno and Beerus and we solve everything.
Trunks, you're your own grandfather. What? That'd be a nice plot line. But yeah, I did not like the ending. It felt very anticlimactic. It felt rushed. It didn't even feel well planned. I don't know. It was just this
It felt
entire
like
arc felt like wasted potential.
it felt like the worst kind of Deus Ex Machina, just like, and wasn't even needed.
I mean, it's not really a Deus Ex Machina because we knew that button was gonna be pressed at some point. I just didn't expect it to be this episode and for it to turn out like that.
Well, I just mean that like Trunks defeating Zamasu would have been enough. Like they could have just ended it there. To have him come back as this amorphous blob and then have to use Grand Zeno to defeat him, that was all unnecessary. In my book.
Mm-hmm.
So now that entire timeline, those alternate realities of what Yajirobe, everyone else in the entire planet and the entire universe, they're dead. So
They're super dead.
Yep.
it's like Hey,
Super
dead.
You know, those guys don't get to time travel at all. Also, they went to the
and also those
afterlife, and
kids
then
too. Those kids.
they went to the afterlife, and
There's
then
no
still got
afterlife.
killed.
Like, there is no afterlife anymore because all of existence is gone. So it's like, oh wow.
Screw you.
But now we've got 2 Zenos, guys. Isn't that great?
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yay.
goody.
Boy,
This will end so well.
Yes.
Like, there are 2 Zenos. What could go wrong?
Yep. I can't see anything wrong.
I just want to say that Goku has already royally fucked everything up, and nobody even knows it yet.
Oh, I think people have an idea.
Is this why I've seen like threads and like videos, people saying Goku is the real villain of Dragon Ball Super? I'm like,
Well, I mean
oh.
that sort of, but it's not like he hasn't always been like, let's not fight the villain so I can fight him.
Yeah. Like, let's
I'm
not
surprised
destroy
Goku
this
actually,
villain
like-
because I'll be able to fight him in 6 months when he destroys the Earth.
I'm surprised Goku didn't try to fight like. Well, they did, but I'm surprised they didn't like. He actually called on Grand Zeno to take out Urefo form Zamasu instead of trying to beat himself. So
Well, I mean, how's he gonna punch him?
Well, he tried.
Goku just be like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
trying.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah.
that's probably why he called.
Anyway, want to talk about Kai?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapter is episode 166. And so, 10 years later, a long-awaited world martial arts tournament. In this episode, everyone is now like 10 years old. It says so in the title. Fuck me. Everyone has bad hair.
Goten, what happened to you? What happened to you, man?
Good God, he's a douchebag now.
Krillin looks like he was attacked by a lawnmower, and the lawnmower just called his friend, his like the bushwhacker, say, "Hey, come over here, get some of this."
And then they both lost.
And like Bulma's got terrible hair.
She has
Mhm.
80s office lady hair. Like she's complaining
Ugh.
about her looks. I'm
Yeah.
like, Bulma, maybe you should do something about the hair. You know?
Yeah, she got that early '90s hair.
So they're all going to fight in the World Martial Arts Tournament, and it's like always funny to see the Z Fighters plus these guys they could flick and explode.
Mhm.
Which Vegeta kind of does that. He punches a guy into the wall, just taps him like.
Don't worry, guys. Captain Chicken has this.
Captain Chicken.
Chicken. That's the best part.
My God.
Anyway, Goku wants to go have this fight because Boo's reincarnation is going to fight here. I wonder who it could be. It couldn't possibly be this guy, this little kid whose name is Boo backwards.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, I guess. Whatever. I want to see Oop fight.
Pan's cute, and
Yeah,
she's going to
Yamama's
destroy
alive.
that one huge dude.
Oh yeah, Pan is
Oh, yeah.
adorable.
She's just like, I'm 5 and I flew around the world.
Oh, it's also weird hearing Goten have an old voice or older voice, I should say.
I believe this voice, I think, this voice probably has 7 lines in the entire history of the show
Yeah,
because it's only in these 2 episodes.
it's neat. It's neat to hear.
I forgot who the
Mr.
voice-
Satan, unfortunately, has got some receding hair.
Oh yeah, baldness hit him like a truck.
He'd also really, 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 really better hope that one of the Z fighters is facing him in the final.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're probably gonna rig it so Boo faces him in the final.
Like, okay, Boo, just like we planned. Not too hard this time, okay? Boo! Ah! Oh, Boo! Oh!
Boo! What the fuck? Why does Videl look like she has a cone head in this episode?
I don't know. Like, everyone just said, hey, let's get, like, bad 90s hair. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this was from 1995.
And they were trying to like predict the
exactly.
future of like these characters.
But literally, it's like, okay, I get you're trying to have the part, but the part goes up so far. What is her head shaped like now?
Also, she should be in the tournament, but unfortunately, she's been hit with Dragon Ball Z housewife syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Shame.
Okay, anyway, other than that, though, it was fun. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this episode, and the next one I'm sure is more of this. So I'm digging it. It's
Oh, you mean the last episode of Dragon Ball Z?
yeah, basically, yeah. I mean,
Can you believe that
we're there.
we're there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
and there's
finally
no
made it.
new anime until Super. Can you believe that, man?
I can't believe there
Which
was
is
no
already-
anime until from 1995 until Dragon Ball Super. There was no anime.
I heard this thing
Yeah.
called
The hell?
GT
Hang
or
on.
something.
Shut the fuck up.
Gee, what? Gee, what? You sure that's not like fan fiction? That sounds like fan fiction. I've never heard of it.
It
I'm
is
pretty sure it is
basically-
fan
It
fiction.
literally is now fan fiction,
Like Dragon Ball AF, yeah.
along with the Dragon Ball Super manga. Brought to you by Marvel Comics.
Yeah, technically it's all fan fiction. Like Toriyama's like, yeah, whatever. Give me my money. Give me my money.
Aye.
But yeah, this episode, a lot of characters are kind of flanderized a little bit. Like Bulma just, I don't
Just a
know
little
what's
bit.
going on with Bulma, but that's kind
Just
of been
a
a
little
complaint for most of Z.
Bulma's like, I'm old now.
Hmm.
Fuck you, Saiyan assholes.
Why are you still so young?
Like she didn't know that they don't age as fast
No.
as you.
Well, no, I mean, apparently they just kind of stay 30 until they hit 70, and then they just randomly become old.
Wait,
You
have
know
we ever
Goku is
seen an
technically in
old
his
Saiyan?
40s.
Imagine they
Vegeta's
mostly died
dad?
before then.
He didn't. Yeah, Vegeta's dad didn't really look
I,
old.
I think it was just the goatee that made him look old. Otherwise, he'd look just like Vegeta.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if they ever do get looking old. I wonder if they just die.
You could say
No,
Nappa look old. I mean, but he was bald, so.
I mean, apparently they age just kind of all at once.
Anyway, you
I
guys
don't
want
think
to talk?
Toriyama thought too hard about it.
No, you guys want to talk about My Hero Academia?
Yes.
Plus Ultra.
My Hero Academia episode 6. Rage, you damn nerd, is an awkward title. In this episode, surprise! Nobody's getting expelled.
I'm shocked. Shocked,
Oh.
I tell you.
I wish
Wow.
the rapist got expelled.
Oh, you mean Minata?
Yeah, I wish Rat Baby got expelled.
Nah, if he got expelled, it would have been a problem. There would have been major issues.
He's
yeah.
just a horny teen. Come on, guys.
You have no idea.
Well, let me put it this way. That's all I've seen of him, so I'm just going by what I've seen.
Anyway, yeah, it was a rational deception. Nobody was ever getting, expelled
Well-
except they were.
That was a lie, though. Yeah, that was a lie. When he has his conversation with All Might was like, "No, I know you were going to flunk that kid, but then you saw what he did, and you were like, had a change of heart."
Also, you've totally expelled entire classes before. Not Kakashi.
We get it.
Imagine that,
We
man.
get it. You're really bent out of shape about this being like Naruto.
No,
Well, I mean, it's kind of like we already did this, plot point already with the whole exam thing. It's like we didn't need to do it again.
I mean, the similarities are there, but it's distinct enough to where it's not like, oh, this is straight up copy and paste, Unlike Black Clover.
I mean, it's more like it's copy paste its last episode.
It feels different to me. This isn't so much about him. Like, what are you getting at? I don't even follow what you mean.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, he's got to pass the test, and we all know he's going to pass the test, and then he gets really, like melodramatic
Oh, no,
about
no,
him
no.
passing
I
it's
the
mean,
test.
like, oh
and
no,
then
is
it's
he
like,
going to fail
he-
and not
no,
make it into
but see,
UA?
that's-
And
yeah,
then
that's
next
where you-
episode, oh no, is he going to fail and not make it into UA?
yeah,
Right, and also he didn't pass the test. He failed. He was in last place.
Well,
no,
that's
but
still
he still
passed.
passed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it's not okay. I see.
It's like it's
They
just
all
sort of
pass,
like,
really.
it's they're still keeping with the danger of not getting in. And it's kind of like, we did that already. Can
Oh,
we
okay.
do something else now?
I kind of
Yeah,
think
You
okay,
could have
it's more.
gotten first place in this exam, and he would have still expelled you if he didn't like what you were showing him.
right.
Yeah, it's more
I
to
will
do
say
with the
though, I mean,
pacing.
this whole like, will he be in school? I guess that's over now. I mean, like
God, I hope so.
next episode, like he's in the school now. I mean, there's no getting out of it.
I mean, it's literally like, now check out how this school works.
Right.
Morning, boring classes.
Boring, but
English.
All Might is your teacher. The way just hangs in the door. Class, I am here.
I am here, coming through the door like a normal person.
He's great.
He's even wearing a
So
Silver
nice.
Age
He's
costume.
wearing a Silver Age costume. I love it when people point out how he doesn't, like, straight up just like, he's different from everyone else in this manga.
Yeah.
Speaking of Silver, oh, everyone
Like, 'cause
straight
he's
up,
big and swole.
everyone straight up made their costumes like Silver Age superheroes, just spandex and like
I mean, there's
exposed
that
cleavages and-
one girl is like in that weird like dress that shows way too much skin for someone her age.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to like apologize for that, but I will say that there's a reason for it.
There's always a reason.
There's a
But
reason
the
the
Yeah,
reason
costume
may,
looks that way,
the
but
reason may in fact it be self, like the reason creates the reason for it to exist.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, just
It-
wait, you'll see. It's not like great, but
she
it's not
raised
exactly
herself.
just for titillation. Let's put it that way.
Also, I just wanted to point out that Invisible Girl just wears boots and gloves and nothing else.
That's her costume.
Yep.
That's all she needs. She's invisible.
Yep.
She's literally walking around naked.
I mean, either you can make clothes invisible or you can't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, everyone's got great new costumes except Deku had to wear his mom's stupid ass ugly knit sweater.
Oh, you mean his oh gosh, dang it. I had a joke and I screwed it up. What
Wait,
was
what?
the name of that? Kick-Ass. His Kick-Ass costume.
Yeah.
I have to wear this. My mom made it for me.
Dude,
Dude.
your mom make you
I'm
that?
happy with it.
After that scene, I'd wear her fucking costume, man. She's
Yep.
adorable.
Best mom in anime.
So naturally,
Who's still alive.
Bakugo and Deku have to immediately have their huge. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I talking over you?
No.
No.
It's because it sounded like you were just like, God dang it!
No. I just finished off with like his mom is the best mom in anime who's still alive because shorty moms are like either dead or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hey, where's his dad? Nobody cares. Moving on.
He was a loser, probably.
Immediately, we're going into the Bakugo versus Deku grudge match. I mean, there's like a setup outside of that, but Bakugo don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It is nice seeing Deku like, just not cower. Like he does a little bit, but then he's like gives him the look. He's like, dude, get off my fucking case. It's like, dang.
He like judo throws him, and then he's like, yeah, I won.
Yeah. But at least he's standing up to him, getting back at the bully.
Hmm.
It's gonna use
Feels
his own
good.
weight against him.
What else was in this episode?
Let's see. Well, again, we get to hear some more voices. We hear Frog Girl's voice. She also has a funny sounding voice.
Best girl.
We get to hear the
Way
again, I
too
don't
much
remember.
of rapist.
We heard a little of him. We heard yeah, anyway, we've heard a lot of them actually, because especially when All Might came into the class, they were all excited about seeing them, and we get to hear some of their voices for the first time. It's great. Have I mentioned how much I like these characters? I really like these characters.
Some of them sound familiar, so I'm
I
not too
couldn't
familiar with the voice
possibly guess.
I'm not too familiar with the voice actors, so some of them sound familiar. But I didn't
I
look
mean-
them up.
Say I do either.
Ochako is Nami,
Oh yeah, I know that. I know she's Nami. I
Just-
know
and Ida is
All Might is,
J. Michael Tatum. So
Hmm.
different,
Oh, yeah,
different.
you can always
usual
tell.
villain roles.
You could always tell J. Michael Tatum's voice, like
Just imagine him saying, "I'd like an Oreo cookie milkshake and fries."
Oh yeah, like when he did his Enel impression. I mean, Enel impression at that drive-through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the episode was really good. I mean, it's more slower on the slower side, but it gives us time to like get to know more of the character. Right? And now they're in the next stage of their exams.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
It's
an
not even
exam anymore;
exams,
it's
it's
a
just regular
class.
classes now.
Yeah, well, superhero exams. But and I like
I like-
Deku's costume, except for like the
It dies
it's supposed to be
immediately and
All
will never
Might's.
come back.
right.
It's basically
I
All
mean,
Might's hair or something, but it's like
I kind of like it outside of the mask.
yeah, just change the
Yeah, which
mask.
basically goes away in this next episode. So
Like I can imagine the author being like, "This is what he's going to look like," and everyone being like, "Kill it."
Nope.
Nope.
It's his proto costume.
I also like this idea that like
It's
since super. Oh, go
it's
ahead.
Peter Parker's wrestling outfit.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, where's Bonesaw? Bonesaw is ready.
But I also like this idea that like the superheroes are so part of society that like the superhero schools have this government funded like company that will make costumes for superheroes, and that they like send them in like, hey, I'd like a costume that kind of works like this or looks like this, and then these like professional people make costumes that actually do those things, because you would
Yeah.
expect that in a superhuman society that superheroes would need really unique costumes. That's just kind of neat, I think.
Also, we forgot to bring up when they were taking the actual entrance exam that UA has like 17 million acres upon which they've built literally like 7 different giant cities for
Well,
the express purpose of breaking them.
yeah, but I mean, that's an exaggeration. It's like two
This
city
school
blocks.
is rich as fuck.
I mean, they're like a couple of blocks. They're not like whole cities.
It's
Surely
enough.
like
they look like they're like when we saw that wide
Are you
shot of
sure
all of them.
it's not the exact same? I thought it was the exact same area as where they had the.
And I just
The
remembered
first-
that
the
there's the
first
guy who
test.
can make cement and he just makes them all. They still have a lot of land.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, superheroes become a big thing. I mean, it's kind of like NASA in a way.
Yeah, they've got a
You mean
cape.
Space Force? Sorry, too topical.
Do you want to talk about Fully Cooley?
Mm-hmm.
Fully Cooley Progressive
before we-
episode.
Wait, before we get on to Fooly Cooly, I want to say, does Bakugo get better from here?
He kind of,
Like,
they don't really say it, but he kind of shifts from like,
Well, be careful. Be careful. That
Mm.
seems spoilery to say something.
I mean, no spoilers.
Well,
but
okay,
it's like, this-
Let me ask then, does it get a little less melodramatic?
yeah, because right now he's kind of needs to tone it down just a little.
Because it's really been laying it on super thick these last couple of episodes.
I'd say it ends up being more like everyone's just like, oh, that Bakugo, he's always so mad about something.
Well, no, I just mean the series in general just gets so melodramatic about stuff sometimes, and it's kind of like, really, I get it, just chill.
I'm kind of used to it by now, but it's just Bakugo. He's really laid it on really thick, like he almost like he hates Deku.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, this next episode might shed a little light on that, but not really that much. But it kind of explains a little bit about why he's going so far. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Fully Cooley Progressive episode 3, Stone Skipping. In this episode, it's the beach. They do beach shenanigans. And it's looking real. It's looking real sketch until the second half of the episode.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my thoughts. Like, this seems so, especially the first half of the episode, especially, it just seems so trite, so played out by the numbers. Like, I don't know, why are they all there? It's never
Why
explained.
not?
They just all went to the beach together, including the teacher. I mean, like, it's
School
just
trip.
so conveniently tropey as to be like, why?
It's like at least the second half is like, haha, we threw it all on its head. But it's like, well, you better.
Yeah.
I would have been disappointed otherwise. So
Well, definitely the best part of the episode was this new character, Aiko, who was basically someone who was pretending to be that fat guy's girlfriend, but was doing it for money. Yeah. And it's just sort of like,
yeah,
I think
yeah, it's pretty pathetic. And then his friend finds out,
I think
and
maybe he
he
needs
ends
to be
up like
looked at
feeling really sad for him.
by the feds.
I was expecting her to be like Annika, like secret agent, like double agent, but no, she's just really mean and just
She's
like
just playing him, basically. Yeah.
It was all a fraud.
I was totally expecting emotional support plant to eat someone.
I was waiting for that plant to do something. Like that plant's going to do something, and it never did. So
I just thought it was funny. Emotional support plant.
I guess she's supposed to be portraying like I don't know how you put it, but like the most demure like girlfriend character trope.
Yeah. The other good part of this episode was Jinyu in a giant cement cigar
For the whole episode.
for the whole thing.
and she's just speaking metaphors and stuff, like not even budging.
Doing a cool pose, but she looks like a joint.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think the show is very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's not good. It's just not good enough.
I mean, I like this episode, but I do agree the first half was weaker than the second half. So
I mean, the thing is that even if this didn't have the Fully Cooley name, it would be like, this is a perfectly meh show.
I think it's a little better than meh.
yeah, I've been enjoying.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think part of it is that it's got the Fooly Cooly name, and so expectations are like super high. So when it doesn't meet them, it seems way worse than it actually is.
I also feel though that like because it has the Fooly Cooly name, it's also like trying to do Fooly Cooly things, but isn't doing them right.
Yeah, like it's not trying
by people with way less talent and ambition.
Well,
I think it's
by the same
I think
director?
it's more that it's
No.
not by this. I think
Writer.
it's more that it's not by a lot of the same people, and so it's kind of like they should have done their own thing more, which is kind of what I think Alternative's going to wind up being.
I hope it is.
Yeah. Well, here's things I've noticed. Like when I was kind of thinking about it when the episode was airing. Like first of all, in the original Fooly Cooly, there was always Pillows music in every scene, and in this new one, you get like one song per episode, and it's not. And the rest of the time, there's almost no music, or the music isn't like that style at all.
We got a third of a new Pillows album.
And then they replayed the song that they opened with in the opening again, which is fine. They can use the song again, but like I'm not saying that that's a necessity, but I'm just saying stylistically it doesn't match when the scenes just don't have that music under it. And then second of all, the other thing I keep noticing is just like it just seems like they're trying to make things happen that happened in the original, where those things sort of happened organically in the original and it made sense. And here they're just happening because they need that shot of this thing doing this thing.
They're going down a checklist of things that must be in Fully Cooley.
Right. And that's what's bugging me. But then like you'll get like a moment in this episode where there's a twist and it's funny, or like this whole thing with like what is the deal with our main character girl, like what is going on there with her headphones and stuff. Like I'm kind of interested to learn what's going on there.
Well, you won't, because it won't make sense.
No, actually I disagree. I think that's the problem, and what with this show is that they are going to try to explain everything. Like they're banking so much on this universe they built. Like the episode literally ends with Haruko going medical mechanica. Like we're gonna learn something about that.
I feel like the entire last episode is going to be Jinyu just being like, "Here's the plot."
That's kind of what they did. Like the final episode of Fully Cooley, where Amaro like dump like oh, by the way, this NO portal leads to another dimension, another galaxy. Like it's bringing in Atomisk.
But she's also
Um,
going to be like, and here's what this all means.
Maybe.
yeah, so I'm expecting that maybe, but I've been enjoying this a lot. I don't know if it's better than. I definitely don't think it's better than the first season because Fooly Cooly was such a
No,
time-based
only
type of
crazy
anime.
people would think that.
But I think going back to the lack of Pillows music, maybe it's because they have 12. So maybe they're splitting like 12 pieces of original music across the 12 episodes instead of like two per one if it was six. And I don't know. I feel like they're trying to go in their own direction, but I don't think the execution is just there yet. Like they're just like, oh, you're almost there, you're almost there. But I've been enjoying it, but it's just not there yet. So hopefully these last three episodes are progressive, like explain not explain things, but like pretty coolly magic.
I just want there to be like I think I just want to care more about these characters. And right now I'm kind of like okay with them, but I'm not like into them.
I
That's my
agree.
issue. And Haruko especially feels like in the first Fooly Cooly, Haruko was this mysterious, interesting character, and in this she just seems like not interesting to me.
And it's
Yeah,
like, hey everyone, it's Haruko. She's
I mean,
doing Haruko things. Check it out.
And I'm like,
she feels kind of zany, but it's
yeah.
like she feels kind of toned down a little bit. Like she's still zany, but it seems like she's not like doing like a whole lot of crazy stuff. Like we all remember like Fooly Cooly like had a lot of like out there animation, a lot of zany animation happening.
Well,
So
I mean, the current production team is not capable of that. So
That's basically it.
I
But
feel
I
they just
mean,
don't
the
have
good news is,
talent to do that.
luckily, I mean, the one good thing about Haruko is that, like she did before, she does have her own ulterior motive, and then that did come out in the second half of this episode, where she's basically trying to get the girl to overflow, and she's trying to use that boy Ida or whatever his name is to get that to happen. And so it's like she's still doing Harco like things, in that she's got her own objective, and she's manipulating these kids to get what she wants. And then there's this whole aspect of her, like she's been split now and she's fighting with herself and all that. That's cool. But then like there's just scenes of her just lying on the beach and hitting volleyballs, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's okay.
Mm. So B Dubs,
Yeah.
what do you think about the episode?
I thought it was all right. I mean, it's not like super awesome, but it's not bad.
I mean, I think we should be.
I mean,
It's Fooly Cooly. We should expect more than. It's not bad.
when we
Well,
first
I
watched
mean,
Fooly Cooly,
I mean, it's kind of good, but it's I think part of the problem is I went into it, the series kind of expecting way more, and so it kind of colored my expectations. So
What
I'm
do you?
like,
Okay, let me ask everyone a question then, and I'll start with you, B Dubs. What do you like about it?
it's a little bit on the spot.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if it's good, what's good about it?
Uh,
And you can take a moment to think about it. But like, that's my thing. It's like I feel like if it was really good, we would be like raving about it. But I don't know. I'm not
I
feeling
mean,
myself.
it's not like really good, but it's somewhere between really good and meh. Like it's just sort of good.
Do you like the characters?
Yeah, I mean, I generally like them.
Okay.
I mean, I
I
don't love
do.
them or anything, but I
Yeah.
like them all. I think part of the problem we're having is it's not what we were hoping it would be, and it's kind of like,
To be fair, I had no expectations. I didn't know what to expect.
yeah, I know, but
I kind of expected exactly what we're getting.
How about
Yeah,
you?
like I
How
was
about
expecting to
you,
be exactly.
um, Bishop? Is there like anything that you're really clinging to in this so far that we've seen that you really like?
Um. Okay, I like that Haruko is now split into two. Supposedly, it's not confirmed, but the ending kind of hints at it. But I
Yeah.
kind of like Haruko is now basically two different people now.
I think they straight
That
up confirmed that in episode 2.
they did.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's two people now. So that kind of
Mhm.
opens up things differently now. Now Haruko, this other half of Haruko, Jinyu, is now kind of trying to protect Hidome from what Rahara what's her name now? Rahara?
Raharu.
Raharu.
They don't
I'm
really
not even
do
gonna try to
anything,
pronounce.
though.
I'm not even gonna
They go back
go.
and forth because they call her Miss Haruko too. So
But the other characters, Hidome is okay. She kind of is like Naota now, but it's kind of what was going with Naoto, but now it's with a girl. But now it's like she's kind of talking. She's keeping things pent up. I think that's the thing that they've been going through for the past 3 episodes. Like she's been keeping her emotions pent up, and it's kind of been backfiring on her. Ide, I don't really have much to say about him. His two friends, I don't really care too much. So really, it's just Genu and Haruko are kind of like the ones that are most.
okay.
But I mean, I like it. I enjoy it. I'm still going to wait to see like how it wraps up because I remember when Furukuri was first airing for the first time when I saw it, I was like, this is kind of weird. I like it, but it's kind of weird. Then once I watched it again and I was able to pinpoint like, oh, this is kind of making a little bit of sense. I mean, it was still weird, but it still kind of made some sense. So maybe that will happen when Progressive ends. But so
Yeah,
far,
I
it's,
Yeah.
think
it's been okay. It's been
you just made me think of something. Like
passable.
I think one of the
Passable.
reasons the first Fully Cooley is so well regarded is because even if you don't understand what's happening in it, it looks so good and it's edited so well that it's like engaging. Like you're just kind of hooked just by watching
Mhm.
it, even if none of it makes sense. Whereas whereas Progressive feels it doesn't have the spectacular animation and it doesn't have the slick editing, so it's kind of like more traditional anime in that regard, and so it doesn't hook you as easily.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's
Mhm.
not watchable or anything like that. I think it's totally fine, and I am interested to find out what happens, but it doesn't have the same hook, the production style of the first one that was so slick.
Yeah, I think sort of watching that one and watching this one, that's kind of, for me, the huge difference between the two because, I mean, in terms of story, it's kind of like, it's not that different
Yeah.
so far.
And I think the reason
You
a lot of
know,
people are saying that they've really liked what they saw in alternative is because it feels like the characters in alternative, like right out of the gate, feel like real likable characters that you want to know more about.
It's
I
also
mean,
not being. It's also not like every single. It's also not like look at all the look fully coolly, fully coolly, fully coolly. If I mean, if Haruko wasn't in there, and if a giant pin hadn't crashed into the ground from at the end of the first episode,
it would just be a different
it
show.
would be fully coolly in name only.
Yeah, it it's the alternative is the one I'm kind of looking forward to, if only
Me too.
because it feels like that's the one where the team got to go, all right, so we did the sequel that, we
All
wanted
right,
to do or
turns
were
out
supposed
we
to
can't
do.
do fully coolly. What if we did something else?
Yeah, it's like, all right, we did the sequel we had to do.
But it's
Now
got fully
we're,
coolly in the title.
Well, it's in the
yeah,
same universe. Like
yeah,
here's another story done in a different way, but in the same
right.
universe.
Yeah, it's basically now let's
And
do the thing like how we would want to do it. Like we're not tied down to the
something
old
else,
style
like
now.
one aspect from the original Fooly Cooly that I think is missing that is it doesn't seem to be a lot of pop culture references. Have you noticed that? Like I
Yeah,
remember
Yeah,
Fooly Cooly, they would make
that's a good
references to
catch.
South
Yeah,
Park, John Woo, all, Matrix. There was
she
all
did make
kinds
a
of
joke.
crazy
She did make
like
a joke about
yeah,
Sundere.
yeah, but that's general anime stuff. I don't
Yeah,
mean like, pop culture. So
Yeah,
there
I
wasn't.
think
There was also references to like Playboy and Hustler, not Playboy,
yeah.
Hustler and Aniko
Uh,
Smith. So there's not like a lot of that
Crystal Pepsi.
in alternative.
I
And
think
Crystal,
part of the thing is it's like um when someone's trying to write in someone else's style, Like there's still like Sherlock Holmes stories coming out, but none of them are, you read it and you're like, all right, but it's like none of them are
Sherlock
quite.
Holmes definitely in the public domain.
Yeah, but none of them are quite the same, no matter how good they are. Kind of like with the new James, like there was a James Bond novel that came out a year or two back, and it was pretty well received. But you kind of read it and you're like, yeah, this is James Bond, but this is someone else playing with it. It's not the same person. So I think it's kind of got that problem where it's like someone trying to imitate someone else's style, which is why I'm looking more forward to alternative, which seems to be them not doing that.
I just realized exactly what the show is. It's public domain fully coolly.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's just, someone got the rights to it. And
but
it kind of feels a little bit like fan fiction Fooly Cooley, but I think that's kind of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're really kind of ragging on it here. I still think it's fine. I don't want to be like a downer on it, but it's easy to point out its flaws, I guess.
It's a fun watch, and I think if it wasn't, the Fooly Cooley sequel, it might be a little more well received.
And one thing I want to say, what was I gonna say? You mentioned that it's the same writer.
I thought it was the same writer that.
I
did
feel
the
like
one.
there's no significant staff carryover.
No, there is. One of the producers or something of the original is working on this. It's a producer or writer or something like that.
Yeah, but that
I think it's producers.
Okay.
Producers would not have much of any
creative
influence.
Yeah.
Well, and they said too in those preview videos leading up to it that they basically wanted to get the whole idea behind these sequels is they've got these new upcoming directors that they want to just give it to. They're like, you do your take on this.
Yeah.
So. Like
and
each
I
episode
think
or just alternative and progressive?
No, just for alternative and progressive.
Yeah, I think
I would say I'm very much more interested in what the alternative guy is going to do in the future.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's the same group of guys, it's, I don't think they're going to be copying the style in alternative, frankly, because alternative is just seemingly way, way different from, what we saw. And I don't know, I think that's the one we're going to be more interested in. And I think that's why Japan is getting that one first.
Could be.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we talk about JoJo?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, Battle in Egypt, Episode 40, Darby the Player, Part 1. In this episode, hey, I heard you like them video games.
Hey, you guys want to play F Mega? Let's go play F Mega.
They made this one just for us.
Why are you playing the dumb shit? It's not Fortnite. Why don't you play Fortnite? Have you got a Victory Royale? You're stupid if you don't have a Victory Royale.
I was going to say something about this being really stupid, that there's like this character that's just like the character we just saw. But I don't know. I love it.
I mean, they're brothers.
It's an interesting take on, the same idea we just had. I mean, it's different enough.
Yeah.
But,
I think the video game aspect helps it, and the idea that, like, assuming I take this guy by his word that this younger Darby doesn't cheat, then that is interesting. Yeah.
Or that he's not lying.
Right. And so he clearly loves his dolls, though.
Yeah, he's kind of creepy.
Yeah, these guys sure love collecting souls. Like, put them in dolls and put them in coins. So yeah.
The dolls are like a billion times creepier than the fucking poker chips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the effect on them makes them completely unnerving. So it's really well executed.
Anyway, Kakuin decides, one, he needs to do something on screen for the first time in about a bajillion episode, literally since Death 13. Remember Death 13?
It's been a while.
Yes.
It's been a while. Also, he needs a character motivation because he hasn't had one until now.
Right.
Other than, I really want to shag Jotaro's mom.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
And so he's decided, I can't be afraid anymore. And that's about it.
Oh, by the way, Jotaro, did you know I like to play video games?
You may forget from my design, but I'm a Japanese high schooler, same as you.
Yes.
Yeah, they're really playing that up. It's like, I'm a Japanese high schooler. Of course, I know everything about video games. The best part of the episode, though, had to be Joseph's commentary throughout the entire race. It's just great.
Ah!
Oh my!
He
Holy
Didn't get the boost.
He doesn't know what's happening. Like, what the hell are you kids playing? These video games. Back in my day.
It's like
in his day, he
your
was
grandma
fighting
looking at
zombies.
your grandma's watching you play Fortnite, and it's like, are you playing the Pokemons on your iPad?
Yeah, except this time, if you die in Fortnite, you die for real.
This game is clearly designed only to be played in this specific context.
Yeah,
Nobody
Mega,
would design a game like this.
a very
I love-
popular game on the extreme, not endo entertainment system.
With its V-shaped controller. I like that they just immediately at the beginning of the race just start button mashing with their stands.
I brought out my stand to do cool shit.
Oh man, can you imagine if someone was like playing esports, but they had a stand? So
God.
They would be the fucking best. Okay, that's actually pretty good cheating.
yeah, no one would be able to figure out what's going on.
Anyway,
But the graphics are pretty good. 87,
Yeah, really.
very good graphics. Yeah,
What gen is that system?
I don't even know. It looks better than some like PS4, Xbox One games. Man.
no.
I know.
It kind of looks like a Dreamcast game.
It's an early like 3D game. No, I would say it looks like an early PS2 game.
Well, do we know
Late
Dio has
PS
connections to like the highest state of the art, cutting edge video game
Nah,
technology? So-
like late PS1.
Okay, well, wait a minute, though. So this was written in the 80s, right?
Yes.
Okay, and B-dubs, you've read it, right?
Kinda.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've read the whole thing.
Well, my question, well, somebody brought up a good point in the thread. They're like, F-Zero like didn't exist in the 80s. It was in the 90s. So like, what
Really?
was the game that they played in the manga?
This.
So it just happened to be a coincidence a game came out later called F-Zero?
I'd have to go back and
They ripped
Is that
off
what I was thinking? I'm
JoJo.
like, this is clearly like a reference to F-Zero, but if I'm right, F-Zero didn't exist yet.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Damn.
it's not that important. I
God
just thought
damn you, Araki, you immortal vampire.
he sees
He
into
can
the
travel.
future.
And allows him to
And
see
now
the
he
future.
can travel through time. God damn it!
I mean, JoJo's really. It was in the 80s and 90s, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe, you know. they
I'm
thought,
gonna
hey,
look. I'm gonna
let's
have to
call
look
it
this up.
F-Zero.
Stardust Crusaders.
Well, maybe this issue came out right around when F-Zero
So,
came out. You know, like
Serialized Weekly
92 or
Shonen
something.
Jump from 1989 to 1992. So we can probably assume that these chapters would have come out about 1992.
Yeah, I guess F-Zero
Mhm.
might have been around then.
It
Like,
probably
I know
was.
that Sonic the Hedgehog came out in like 91.
First game was released for the Super Nintendo in 1990.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it actually does make perfect sense.
So it can happen. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like in universe, it's ridiculous, but outside of universe, yeah, he knew what F-Zero was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strange. Wow.
Anyway,
Something's wrong with the timeline.
Anyway, I like how hard you can tell this guy is cruising for a beatdown. Everyone's just like, man, fuck this guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of
He's
those like
asking
super
for it.
polite villains.
Like,
Oh, you're so nice, but I still want to punch you right in your smug face.
no, it's literally, they literally just say, I want to punch you so bad because you're so fucking fake polite.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys want to talk about Hunter x Hunter?
Okay.
Hunter x Hunter episode 99. Oh man, getting close to triple 1 week away from triple digits, huh? Combination and evolution. In this episode, Gon has a really technical fight against two like kind of
Grubs.
random ants that we don't know the names of, which is
Gee Willikers is Batgirl and Owl Boy.
Owl Boy and Batgirl.
Yeah, this was like actually like a really good fight against characters I'm sure we'll never see again.
no, they got fucking wrecked. So
Yeah.
Yep.
You got the Batgirl who's blind, but that she uses like sound. And then you got an owl who for some reason can turn into a gorilla.
he's just like, also I'm a gorilla. Fuck you.
He gets hulked up like my wings are now muscular forearms.
And
I
then
am now
Gon,
the loudest flying bird.
and then Gon, again showing that Hunter x Hunter has good protagonists. Uses his brain and ends up like putting like wet cloth in his ears for earplugs, and then uses his like John Ken whatever to create a sound wave to trick the bat.
Yep.
Yeah, and he had to use a lot of spit too, because apparently water dilutes sound, so he had to, you know.
I'm always surprised when
awesome technical fight.
when Gon does smart things, because he doesn't strike me as a smart guy, but I guess he is kind of smart.
I
Or
mean, you
technical.
kind of have to be in this universe, otherwise you die pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like he only gets confused at the really complicated stuff that doesn't involve, you know,
Math.
fighting. Yeah, like math. Like, oh no, what's that? What's interest?
What's 2 + 2? I don't know.
Well, he's also kind of stupid when it comes to like trusting people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he's a little bit naive, but he's not really like, you know, always 100% trustworthy.
Yeah.
That boy has problems.
That
The boy has problems.
Pretty much.
It's
Anyway.
amazing how, you know, the bat was able to, I just want to say this, it's really cool how the bat was able to like swoop down without making a sound. But Gon was able to detect where she was, just, you know, based faintest sound and just like, you know, predicting where she would go. So
I mean, like I said, it's like I can't believe this fight happened with these characters.
Yeah. It was good. I guess it just goes to
literally
show how
fodder.
good the writing is in this show.
Yeah. It's kind of to set a baseline for what's coming, because there's some pretty, like, you know, hardcore, high-level men fights showing up, so they kind of got to show you that, yeah, Gon can hang with that stuff.
I like the character design on the bat too. I thought she was cool looking.
Mm-hmm. There was that chameleon guy hanging out in the bushes.
Oh yeah, he seems to be like, if I had to take a guess, my guess is that he's basically doing reconnaissance on Gon in order to have a fight with him, and that like he's just like getting all the information he needs in order to beat him. That seems to be my take on it, because he's like really he was like, oh no, this guy, he's not going to be a worthy fighter, and then he sees him pull off these moves and he's like, oh, okay, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, so see, in Hunter x Hunter, you never want to underestimate anybody, because they can always pull out some new trick you haven't seen.
Yeah, it's all about how, you know, you use what you've got. You can't just like randomly pull an ability out of your ass.
Yeah.
But
that Rapido really wants to kill Killua.
Yeah.
He's messing with her puppets.
Messing with her plans?
Yeah.
Messing with her plans.
I really want to kill them. Yeah.
I will say that Killua just noping out of there was pretty funny. It's like he's running toward the thing and it's brightness shining and he just stops. He's like, nope, not dealing with that.
Just like, nope.
It's probably nothing important.
Let's go this way instead.
Yeah, apparently that's coming from like a mountain like miles away, and it's like, no, he ain't dealing with that. Not what's over there.
Wonder who that could be.
I mean, who did it look like?
Well, there's only one incredibly overpowered character in the story right now.
The
I
king.
would guess it's the king. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna.
We'll
See-
see.
Yeah, well, let's see what's going on next week.
Oh,
'Cause-
go ahead.
no, I just really like this fight.
Cool. I was going to say before we move on that we also got a new Ed,
Oh yeah.
which I thought was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember much about it.
Yeah, it's the best ending in this arc.
But it also shows a character we've not seen yet too.
Oh
So-
yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing who that'll turn out to be.
It's the king and that character kind of hanging out.
Yeah, they're like playing like a shogi or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, new character got shown in the Ed, and I thought the music and the animation was fine, so I liked it. I think I liked
I'm
it more
trying
than
to-
the last one. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I think
remember
we'll learn more
exactly
in a few
when
more
she gets
episodes.
introduced. I think
Probably
it's.
next episode.
Oh, I
Yeah,
hope so.
think either next or the one after that.
Yeah.
cool.
Anyway, it's time for your slow death march through Black Clover and Shippuden. Black Clover episode 26, Wounded Beasts. In this episode, stupid, dumb bad guys, and haha, the Wizard King blew him up.
Who
Can't touch this.
cares?
I'm the Wizard King. Can't touch this.
Look, I did appreciate the Wizard King just being like, hey, check this out.
Yeah, I kind of liked
Yeah.
the scene with the Wizard King. I thought it was nice seeing him be like such a badass. I guess.
I
He
mean,
just
someone had to be
obliterated those
badass.
guys.
Like,
I mean-
I
Why did
think
he
we
just
got
do
it
that
cut to a
before?
shot of they are a pile of smoking ash on the floor.
Although the problem is that as kind of interesting as it was, I just chuckle when I hear his name, Julius Novachrono.
Hey guys, I wonder what his power is.
Couldn't have anything to do with time.
Julius Time Stop Guy.
Time stop guy. Julius Time Stop guy.
I need a name for this for the Wizard. Julius Caesar. Nova.
Julius Time Stop Guy.
No. Krona. Time. Julius Nova Krona. There.
There you go. It's creative. No, but I thought the other guy was the Wizard King.
The
What?
king?
Yeah.
No, that's just the king.
That's just a king.
How the fuck
the
many
king of
kings do they
the
have?
The Wizard King
Well-
is the king of wizards, but he's still technically under the actual king.
How the fuck many kings does this series have?
2.
Are you sure? Because it feels
Well, he's
like
the
more.
king.
Well, every kingdom probably has a king, but like, yeah.
And then
This
every
king- this
kingdom probably has a
kingdom
Wizard
is not-
King.
This kingdom's king is not the Wizard King.
Yeah, the Wizard King is the king of magic, and the
See,
King
'cause-
King is the king of political stuff.
Kings. Yeah. Yeah, because, see, I had originally thought, oh, okay, well, the king is the Wizard King, you know?
That would
Nope.
make you really
Nope,
disappointed,
no,
'cause he's
we
like-
saw the king. He's like some like cliche king. He's the
Yeah.
king of cliches.
I'm gonna lay
He's the-
down on one of my concubines now.
I completely forgot he existed.
Anyway, that's this episode. Fuck all these things.
Yeah.
I would have loved if he just like, oops, I killed Asta. Oh well. Oh well.
Mm.
Oops.
That's all I got. I got nothing.
That's all I've got too. We
Fucking
keep
Naruto.
cutting back to Charmy like she's gonna fucking matter.
No, she's not going to matter. She hasn't
Sleep
done
in
anything.
with her two loves, and like a big
Food.
plate of food.
Naruto Shippuden in episode 206. Sakura's feelings. Oh.
Here we go.
Mhm.
Hold on. I gotta get.
Check this out,
ibuprofen
everyone.
now.
I've got a brilliant plan to stop Naruto from going after Sasuke. I'ma say I love him. He's stupid. He'll totally buy it.
And people still wanna defend Kishimoto for this.
Woo.
No.
Hey
And
man,
Naruto's just like,
that
the fuck
acting-
are you smoking?
Man, even Naruto's like, bruh, what are you talking about?
Somebody in the thread posted that picture of Naruto. It says, "Even I don't believe it."
Even I don't.
It's so.
This
It was so. I mean, I laughed out loud. I'm just
God.
like,
I know. I did
I
too.
was like,
This is the
what?
part where Naruto
No.
says like,
No, no,
Naruto
and
says,
this
"I
is just
hate people who lie to themselves."
no, no. This is only the beginning of the fuckery. This is just the
I believe
appetizer.
like next episode is gonna be.
Is that episode 209?
Oh,
That's
and then
209,
the
right?
one and then the one after that. Oh my god. Yes.
What was that, Imperial?
Is next episode 209?
This was 206.
Okay,
Yeah,
3 more
no.
weeks.
The main course isn't for another couple of episodes.
Oh,
This was just the fuckery to wet your whistle. It gets
God,
better.
at least the end of this arc is a barrel of laughs.
It gets so much better. Oh my god.
Like I said, worst character at the end of the year. Just 5 million people running at this small door.
It's gonna be Sakura.
No,
like it's amazing in hindsight just how much this episode has completely like
Destroyed her character.
no, not just the character, just the entire fandom, the entire shipping fandom, like Naruto and Sakura cling to this episode like for dear life. Like this is the episode. Narusaku, yes, and like no,
this is nothing compared to what would have happened if he had actually stuck with that thing in the Boruto spinoff thing.
Oh god. Oh my god, that would have been the greatest thing in the history of everything.
Just to be clear too, because this is the first time I've seen this. I mean, I didn't believe it when she said
Nobody
it.
believed it.
I didn't believe it for a second, and then I thought, wait a minute, this show is poorly written. Maybe she really does love him. And then I had to like think about it for a minute, and then like I guess eventually revealed that she was.
Don't worry. We have a flashback to explain exactly how dumb this is.
Yeah, exactly. And so that happened, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Like I could literally see it on the faces of every other one of the other guys. They're just like, oh boy,
No one's buying this.
You're really okay? Sure.
No one bought this.
Like even Eno is just like,
no.
Seriously?
You don't got.
You've done wrong when you can't trick Naruto.
Yeah.
He's like a dumbass.
He is the dumbass.
Yo, can you imagine how much fuckery there would have been if Hinata was there listening in?
Oh my god!
If this had been written today, that absolutely would have happened.
That would have been so much better.
Oh,
if this was a regular ass anime airing today, yes, that would have happened.
God, I wish that had happened. It's the only way it could get more fuckery.
Begun the shipping wars have.
More like ended they have.
It's funny though that you mentioned that because I didn't even put that together until now. That like I'm sure shippers went crazy over this.
Like this basically sank all of their ships all at once. Just no one admitted it. I mean, they knew at that moment, but nobody wanted to admit it.
In that part of fandom, like the denial was so heavy. It was
it was amazing.
I believe it.
I don't even remember being there for this.
It was like 2009.
No, it was later than that.
It was
2008.
If it wasn't after 2011, then
no, it was. It was like 2011, 2012.
Okay, because I would have had to have been in college and actively on the old site for this.
No, you were there at the time. Or this was just before you joined up, I think.
Huh.
I think. Hang on, let me think about this.
Oh my god, this
did this
final
chapter
arc
come
lasts
out?
fucking forever.
Wait.
4 years. 4 years.
What what episode was this?
This was 206.
Well, let's see if we can't figure out exactly what that is based on. We go from there. Okay, manga arc Naruto chapter 486. Here we go. This was blah blah blah. Shit. Hell, where is that?
Gotta go to the Narutopedia.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Narutopedia away.
Volume 50. When the hell did that come out? Well, okay, that'll give us a pretty good idea at least. Japanese volume release March 4th, 2010. So this was probably 2000, late 2009, early 2010.
Okay.
Yes, 2010-ish, around that time.
Yeah,
So I was close.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was later.
So I would have been reading it at that time.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't really have been on gaff.
I think I had just joined up.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
this show's stupid.
It really is. And it's only going to get dumber.
It's
Like, I was actively angry that it sort of turned away from the fuckery. Because I'm like, no, this is the stuff that feeds my soul. Like, this is all I look forward to with this show is, the fuckery. Why are you taking it away from me?
Oh, anyway. Yeah, it was dumb. Sakura's dumb. This is written by a person who can't write a female character, clearly.
Yeah.
This could have been saved if Kishimoto had written this as like
Or
a parody
actual characters.
or like a satire on like relationships and shonen, or like those
It would have
rushed like
that would have been
male
interesting.
female main heroine. Yeah, that
This
would
could have been a
really
great
interesting.
scene in Bobobo, Bobobo, Bobobo.
Or,
Or
it could have
Sayonara
been
Zetsubo Sensei.
it could have been like she tried it and then like everyone kind of laughed at her and then they like, all right, and like
That
make
was
it into
never
a
gonna
joke. But she's like serious about fooling him.
Like
Yeah.
the show is actually trying to play this off as a serious dramatic moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment you play it off seriously, it starts to lose
Oh, I was
all.
dying.
Like,
Oh wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't watch the episode, but I just know what happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it if I'd seen it before.
This is infamous. Like,
Yeah. And it only gets better.
Better. In quote
As in more fuckery.
that's
Like this
that's-
arc,
that's
like-
that's like a Trump tweet. This only gets quotation marks better.
Yeah.
I mean, if people still want to deny that Naruto didn't fall off a cliff after this point, it definitely fell off a cliff. No parachute hit rock
Can save
bottom.
it from. Yeah. And then it
Yeah,
kept
like-
going till it hit the center of the earth.
It just kept going. It just keeps going for like 4 years, and it's man. 5 years.
Anyway, that'll be it for this episode of the Toonami Escape Podcast. Thank you, B-dubs.
What about Space Dandy?
No,
Space Dandy.
I didn't mean it like that, but I
still can't. I still can't. The Sakura thing is too funny.
Thank you, C. Kohler.
Oh.
No prob.
Thank you, Imperial Bishop.
And I had a fun time. We got to laugh at Sakura.
We got to laugh at her and Julius Time Stop, son.
Oh yes.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you guys next week.